Hello, welcome to Maz Makes Stuff. Hi, I'm Maz. In this project, we're going to make a custom shaped container using Fusion 360. So first, why would you want to make a container? Well, because you can make containers look really cool, and you can put springs in them, because that's really cool, right? Or you can take your same model, and you can paint it, and then put markers in it, or you can make another dragon egg, because I love dragon eggs, and you can put your dice in it, or you can make a really fancy dragon egg, like this, pretty, and put your nuts in it, because everybody keeps their hex nuts in dragon eggs. I mean, that's a cool thing to do. Or, if you're a fan of this favorite game, you can put your magnets in it, because that's cool too. Or you can get like really witty, make something blingy, right? With a bunch of bling, right? And then put your pins in it. And then I got a magnet in there that holds them in place. So yeah, you can do that. But first we need to start with something simple, right? So we're gonna make something similar to this. So this is a earbud container that I made for Attero. And it's printed in Protopasta Stardust, which is this material here. And then this is cinnamon, which is also protopasta. And he has his earbuds in here. So they're just these right here. And that's basically what we're going to make. So the idea is that you make, we're going to make some sketches, like some basic sketches for shapes like this. And then we're going to use the Loft Tool and Extrude and the shell tool and some split body, in case you were wondering what tools we're going to go over. So first things first, we should get started. So in Fusion, you should have an empty file open. If you don't, you can always go over to File, New Design. If you're in class with me right now, please make sure that you save and put your name somewhere in there. You could put like some numbers and then your name. That's cool, as long as I know who to get these projects back to. If it's you at home, name it whatever you think is cool, and then you'll click save, and then now we're ready. Fusion will auto save for us as we work. Of course, it's still a good idea to save. So in our workspace, we need to make a sketch. So up here in Sketch, there is Create Sketch. So you'll click on Create Sketch, and then all of a sudden we get these different square looking things. So these are the different planes that we can sketch on that's attached to the origin. So in the right, there's a viewport cube, and as you can tell, there's top, front, right. So the front face is the front, and then the side over here is the left right one. And then the bottom is the top bottom. So we're going to click top bottom. So you click on it, and then you'll get reoriented to here. And then now what we want to do is start drawing these profiles, right? So this is just a drawing. So I'll go ahead and I'll make that first. So if you go under Sketch, there's Polygon. Polygon, circumscribed polygon. Click on that, and then we'll get crosshairs. So then you'll put the crosshairs wherever, click once, move the mouse away, and it doesn't really matter what size you make it, other than, well, try to keep it kind of small. This is, I think, about 70-ish millimeters, so somewhere in there. This one had 6 sides, but let's say I wanted to have a different amount, like say I wanted to do 5. So you hit tab and then press 5 on the keyboard to change that, and then you can click to place, and then now you have a polygon. So there's other tools in here under Sketch. You can use circle, so there's center diameter circle, and then you get those same crosshairs. You can click once, move your mouse away, and then click again to place. So that's the circle tool, and of course you can click and make all kinds of different circles, but you don't really need that many. So what I'm going to do is hit escape to get out of that tool, and then if I click on the edge, because I don't need all these circles that I made, so I can just click on it press delete, click on it, press delete, click on it, press delete. Okay. So we have the line tool, which is just this little fishhook thing, or you can go to sketch, line, and this tool just basically makes lines. No, not really any curves. So you get to your crosshairs, you click once, move the mouse away, and then you click again, move the mouse away, and you can just kind of keep clicking until you get something that you kind of like, and then click the check mark when you're done. So I kind of created a problem because with the Loft tool you need closed profiles in order to make it work. Well, this little weird line shape I made, it's not closed. So how you can close it, or how you know whether or not it's closed, is because it's not shaded. So these little white points, you can hover over them and then click once you get it to snap, and then get it to snap to the other white point and click again, and then now I have it closed. So that is now closed. So there's another tool called Spline, which is this kind of squiggly looking line. It's also down here under sketch. You click on that, and then this tool, you click, move the mouse away, don't click and drag, just move, and then click again, and then you start getting a curve. So you can just keep clicking. And as you can tell, I'm running out of room in my little art, canvas here. So what you can do is you can press down on the middle mouse wheel and drag to move that. And you can do this while you're inside of a tool. So see how I did that, and I didn't lose my little line here. So I was just pressing in the middle mouse wheel and dragging. So then I can just keep making my little shape. I think I'm gonna kind of sort of make a weird shaped flower thing or something. And then you just hover over that first point and snap, and there you go. You got a finished little line. So under sketch, there's also ellipse. Ellipse is similar to circle, except it has one extra radius. So you'll click once, move the mouse away, and then you can click again, and then now we set our second radius there. So then you click again, and then now it's set. So we have, let's see, there's also a rectangle. So you can do rectangle, and you basically can set one point, and then move the mouse, and then you set your next point. So, and then that makes your rectangle. So now I have all these shapes. I'm only going to use a few of them though. You can actually use however many you want. I believe with this one I only used 3 different shapes to create it. I think what I'm going to use is, well, I'll hit escape to get out of this tool. I think I'm going to delete this because I don't want it. So it's a way to delete all of it, because if I just click one and then press delete, I only get rid of one, right? So if you double click, it selects everything connected to it, and then I can press delete. Same thing with my polygon over here. Alright, so I don't think I want this either. Okay, I think I'm going to put my funky blob looking shape in the middle, and then I'm going to have my ellipse as the top. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So what we need to do is stack these, right? So this one is the easiest example to see because you can clearly tell this is a fish, right? And then you can clearly tell that's a flower. But how did I get them like that? Well, what we do is, since we're on a flat plane right now, I'm going to move my other shape so it's literally on top. For example, I'll select my squiggly, and then if you right click, select move, and then now I get this move tool. So the move tool, you have arrows that constrain you to moving it in this direction, or you can click the other arrow to constrain you in that direction. You also have a square in here that if you click and drag, you can move it around on both of them, so you're not constrained. And then of course there's also this little rotation arc that if you click and drag, you can rotate your sketch. So I'm going to use that square and move it on top. Yeah, right about there. So now I need to move it up because I'm still flat right now, and that this isn't going to work. So what we can do is the viewport, if you click on it and drag, you can change the way your view is to more of a perspective. So now what I want to do is click on this arrow that's coming away, and I'm going to pull it up about 30. Okay, so then now, while still in the sketch tool, I can select my ellipse down here by just clicking on it, and then now I can move this one. So it's kind of easier to move this stuff looking top down, so I can just click that top face of the viewport and then move it that way. And yeah, I think round about there is good. And then you can click and drag that viewport. And then drag your arrow up. So yeah, about 60. And then you can click OK when you're done. So see, now we have these stacked things. So this is the, you know, this part, and then there's a middle shape in here, and then the top. So now we're ready to loft, the magic tool, right? So under Create, there is the tool named Loft. So Loft basically takes different sketch profiles and then in between solves to create a piece of geometry. It's really cool. So click on it, and then the first thing you need to do is select one of your profiles. So if you hover over it and click, and then you click on the next one, and see it already started to make a shape, and then now if I click my last one, it kind of creates something more in between. So once I have that, I can click OK. And then now I have my funky shape, right? It's interesting. It's different. It's a good shape for earbuds. Putting something brown or a thumb drive or something like that. So the next part that we need to do is actually cut it, right? So somehow I need to make this so it's actually a lid. To start doing that, we're going to use the split body tool. But first, before we can use the split body tool, we have to have a thing that we're going to use to split. So for me, I'm going to use the construction plane. So I'm going to offset the lid, or the top of the body, and then pull it down. So under construct, there's offset plane, and then you hover over that top face and you'll click on it, and then you're going to want to move it down -10, and then you can press enter. And then now I have this kind of different colored, sort of looks like a sheet of paper going through my object. So now what you want to do is go to modify and then split body, or you can use split body up here because it's usually saved, and you click on that, and then the first thing I need to do is select the body that I'm splitting. So I select that, and then now in order to select my splitting tool, I click on the dialog where there's splitting tool and click select, and then now you're going to hover over that plane, click the plane, and you get this kind of red cutting looking thing, and then you'll just press OK. And then now I have kind of a line, right, where it looks like it did something. At least these faces are separate now. So the next part that we're going to do is we need to move it up, because the problem with just cutting and then creating your lip is you can't really make a straight sleeve with that. So that's what we're going to do, is make something that's going to be easy to come on and off. Because if you have like a weird shape, like kind of like this, right? I'm only lucky this works because it gets smaller as it goes up. If it went bigger as it went up, it wouldn't work because, well, you can't put something smaller over something bigger. So we're going to use that move tool. So I was right click, move, and then hover over that top face to get it to snap to where the arrow looks like it's going straight up. Click, and then we're going to move up 10, and then you'll press enter. And then now we need to pull that face underneath down 10. Another easy way to orbit, other than just dragging your viewport, is if you hold shift on the keyboard and press in the middle mouse wheel and drag, you can rotate your view that way. So that's what I'm going to do there. So then we'll click that face on the bottom, and then we're going to extrude it down. So if you right click, there's Extrude, or up here in Create, there's also Extrude, or you can press E on the keyboard. So Extrude will give us a little arrow, but we're going to type in 10, but we don't want it to join to the base. We want it to just kind of be separate. So the way to do that is to minus a 0.1. Okay? And then now we have our lid and our base. But they're not really a lid and a base yet. The only thing we've really done is created sort of the outside part of it. So now what we need to do is hide our lid because we need to do something with the base. We need to create this inset. So there's this kind of lip here that we're going to create, that we're going to pull up. So to do that, I'm going to hide this. So to hide this, stay there. There's V on the keyboard to toggle visibility, and you can press that, and then it's gone. So now I'm going to look at the actual top of my base right here. So I'll click that face, and then I'm going to create a sketch on it. So you'll right click, create sketch. So now that we're in this view, what we're going to do is offset the outside edge and pull it in. So under sketch, there is a tool called offset. You can also press O on the keyboard, and then you'll hover over that edge and click on it. And then instead of going out, we want to go in, and we're going to do a -2, and then click OK. And then now we have this inside profile. So my construction plane is kind of in the way. So what I'm going to do is select it and then just press V to hide it. And then now I can select that inside part. But I can't. Something's wrong. Something's wrong right about here. Ah. See, this might happen to you. So technically it's not a closed profile sketch. So what I have to do is I have to close it, right? So I can get that line tool and then just kind of patch it up and hope that that works. There we go. Now I can use it. So now we're going to extrude this up 10. So you'll click on the inside of that, and then right click, extrude, and then we're doing 10. And then you can press OK. So now I need to kind of look at it as at a different, so I can see, oh, there we go. See, it's up there. So now I need to unhide my lid because now I need to cut out this part, right? So that way it actually would go on. So over here in the browser tree on the left, that's what this is. There's a bunch of different things like name, view, unit, origin, body, sketches, construction. So what we want is bodies. If you click on the arrow next to it, you can expand. And then now we see there's this body that if I hover over it, that's the lid. So you can click on the light bulb to re-highlight it back up. And then now we can split it. Another thing about this is you can rename these. So if you double click the text part, you can then name that like lid, right? Or you can do the same thing up here, which is a base. Sorry, my nose itches like crazy. Okay. So now we're going to use that split body tool again. So that's split body, and then we're splitting the lid. So you click on the lid, and then over here for the splitting tool, you'll click on select, and then you'll click that base. So as you can see, it's kind of depending on where I'm hovering. Oh, see, it highlights. So I want the whole thing. I don't want just the face. So as long as it looks like it's going inside of your lid, that's what you want to click. So click on it, and then click OK. So now I have somewhere inside of there a piece that I don't need, that I should get rid of. So if you click on your lid and hit V, and then your base and hit V, you can hide them, or you can click on the piece in here in your browser tree that looks like just a sandwich, like a just a thing. And then you can right click, and then we're gonna want to do remove. So there's also delete, which deletes it from the existence of the project, but you don't want to do that because you need the information that was taken out of the lid. So we're going to do remove. Okay, so now we have it back to just a lid and a base. So The next part that we need to do is hollow out the base. So we'll hide the lid. I was selecting a face and then pressing V. So to hollow this out, right, because inside here it's empty. So the way we do that is we use the shell tool. So if you click on the top face here, and then under modify, there's shell, or you can right click and then there's shell. You can click on that, and then it'll give you an arrow and an input box. We want 2. And then you'll click OK. So now what happened is the inside is hollow for us, right? Which is pretty cool. That was really easy. We really didn't have to do a whole lot to it, and it's got like an interesting shape. So now we need to do the same thing to the lid, because technically the lid is still kind of solid, right? You can't really tell at the moment that it's solid, but up here there's a tool called measure. It looks like a little kind of ruler type thing, so you click on that, and then if you click on the inside face of your lid and then rotate around, that's just that shift and press in the middle mouse wheel and drag, and then you click that outside face, we now see that between those two there's 10 millimeters. That's a lot of wasted plastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to shell that out too. So you can close that ruler out and then look at the bottom here, and then we'll right click and do a shell, and we're going to do that same too. Okay, and click OK. So now it's empty. Well, no, it didn't like something, so it said that it compute failed. So I guess what I'm going to try to do is maybe a different number. This might be the same for you. It looks kind of weird though, because the arrow is going the opposite direction. I'll try 1.6, but oh, well, that worked. If it doesn't work for you, just keep trying different variables. I wouldn't go too far under 1 millimeter, because then that gets a little bit thin. Okay, so now it looks like it's pretty hollow, right? So if I turn that base back on, the only thing that is next is that I need to find out how, like, what the distance is between the inside of the lip and the outside of the lid, right? So the way to find that out, to see visually anyways, is you can do a section analysis under inspect. So there's this kind of grid looking icon called section analysis. You click on that, and then you can click on the top face and then click on that arrow to drag back through your project, and you can see, like, if you're 3D printing it, how it's going to look. So the thing that I'm finding is not going to be right, that I still need to fix, is right around here I have it face on face, like they're touching. So that means after I print it out, it's not going to go on. So you can just go ahead and hit cancel, and we're going to fix that. So what I'm going to do is click on the lid and hide it, and then this little part here, I'm going to create a sketch on it and offset it in, and then extrude that out to get rid of it. You could use the press pull tool, but it doesn't always work for this type of exercise, so that's why I'm doing a sketch. So you'll do create sketch, and then we're going to use that same offset tool we used earlier, which was under sketch, offset, or you can press O on the keyboard, and we're going to offset the outside part of the lip. So you click on it, and then we're going to minus it 0.4. I like 0.4. You can do different ones depending on how your printer works, but 0.4 works pretty good. And click OK. And then now this little piece that is not there because this particular shape has a little issue down here. If you got that same thing going on, you have to close it up. Okay. There we go. So that might still be the same for you. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe yours is like, you know, bulletproof. I made weird stuff. Anyways, so you click that outside part. So if you change your view a little bit, you can see that it is that outside lip. And then we're going to take that down. So we're going to do extrude. So if you right click extrude, and then drag that arrow back down so you get this red, and we're actually going to snap it to this face. So that's something nice with the extrude tool, is you can snap it. So we're just going to click the face and it'll snap down there, and click OK and you're done, right? Okay. So now I'm going to unhide my lid just to check. I'm going to go back to section analysis and scrub through here, and that looks much better. Those aren't touching. So that is going to come out better, it's going to close, I'll be able to use it. That is the most critical part about this whole project, is whether or not you have that little clearance there. Because if you don't have it, it won't work. I've had so many students that forget that step, and they have to sit there and sand for a while. So anyways, this is basically it. This is my container, right? So we could do something more interesting with it, or we could leave it the way it is. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to do a couple extra things, but you are welcome to stop watching here if you've learned enough. So what I want to do is put text on this, right? Because that'd be cool, right? So if I click on that top lid there and then do a create sketch, I can then kind of rotate this around so I'm looking at it the way I want. And I'm going to put Maz on the top because that sounds cool. So under sketch, there's the text tool. So you click on text and then click someplace away from here because we'll move it over later. So click and then type in what you want. So I want Maz, and it's kind of funky. It's under upside downy. So you do the same little rotation arc there. And then pick a font. The biggest question ever. Yeah, I could do that one. Maybe. I don't know. How about that? No. But yeah, you can look in through and find a font you like. I don't know. I'm picky. That looks pretty good. I'll just use that one. How about Good Times? So then once you have the font you want, you can click OK. And then you can click on it and drag it over if you want. Yeah, something like that looks good. I think I kind of want it bigger. So if you want to edit it, you can double click the text and it gets you back in there, and then you can change the height and do like 20. That's way too big. Okay, maybe 15? That's better. And then you can click the blue dot and drag it and click OK. So now I'm going to extrude this out of my lid, but I don't want to extrude it through, just a little bit. So we're going to do extrude, which is E, and then we're going to minus like 0.5. And did it do it? Looks like it. Press OK. Yay! So that's how you add text. Other things you can do is you can add like a pattern or a ring. So let's say I want to add a little kind of rib on this line here. So what I can do is under create, there's a pipe tool. So you can click pipe, and then I can click this here. And of course it automatically wants to subtract. So I want to change that over here to join. And then I want to add this line. So I'm going to hold control and then click that line there. And then now, there we go, it's closed. So that's my little like 1mm rib looking thing, right? So that's kind of just something extra. You can keep messing around and adding to it. Just make sure that you come back to this section tool and check through and see that this little lip isn't getting interfered. It's very important. Okay, so that's basically it for this project. If there's any questions you have about these little containers and how you make them, or maybe there's a different project that you want me to do, feel free to put it in the comments below or contact us. If you're in class with us right now, thank you so much for coming, and make sure that you thank Chick Tech for helping sponsor it. And I think that's about it. So have a good evening, and thank you for watching.